Do you want to find out which sectors could have made you rich and which sectors are better to avoid? Well, stick around, because we're about to reveal the best and worst sectors of the stock market. For both new investors and the experienced ones, it is crucial to understand how over time the sectors can differentiate. We will look at the numbers from 2019 until Q3 of 2023. But before we start, I have a small request. I'm a beginner YouTuber trying to reach a bigger audience. If you want to help me out, then please subscribe to my channel. It won't cost you anything and it will help me immensely. Thank you. In my last video, I went over all the sectors in the stock market extensively. So if you want to know what they are and which big companies are part of that sector, then first check out that video. So how did I make the comparison of the sectors? I used the 11 tickers of ETFs of SPDR, representing the 11 sectors. An example is XLE, which is the energy index. I have another video explaining ETFs, if they are new to you. What is also important to know is that the SPDR sector trackers are cumulative, meaning that the dividends are directly reinvested into the ETF. So comparing the sectors should be fair, because there is no dividend leaking away. The sectors in ETFs we are looking at are technology, ticker XLK, healthcare, ticker XLV, financials, ticker XLF, consumer discretionary, ticker XLY, consumer staples, ticker XLP, energy, ticker XLE, industrials, ticker XLI, materials, ticker XLB, utilities, ticker XLU, real estate, ticker XLRE, and communication services, ticker XLC. The period we are looking at starts in January 2019. The prices of the ETFs at that point are the baseline and are put on 100%. The chart that follows shows the price development of that sector in the coming 3 years and 9 months until the end of September 2023. Let's dive into the numbers. We start the chart in 2019 and see it develop to 2020. In the first quarter, technology, industrials and real estate are doing well. In the next quarters, you see energy drop down a bit and technology and real estate keep battling for the top position. Communication and the financials find their way up to the end of 2019. 2020 is the year that COVID happened, which is directly reflected in the numbers you see from March and April. When we freeze at this point, we see that compared to January 2019, the tech sector is still up by 24%. The main sector suffering is energy, because no one wanted to travel anymore because of COVID. In the following months, you see the big rise of tech, and energy is still lagging behind. Communication services, which also includes tech giants like Google and Meta, also did very well. The story continues until the end of 2021 with a rise of the general market, including most sectors. The beginning of 2021 shows another big bull market for all sectors. Technology is worth 2.5 times its value as of January 2019. Energy is still lacking, but almost getting back to the same level of 2 years ago. The year 2022 is not a good year on the stock market. Technology suffers a lot, while energy is leaving the bottom spot. All sectors are profitable at this point. In the middle of 2022, the worst sector is worth 26% more than 2.5 years earlier. Not bad. 2022 also sees communication going from a top 3 spot to the very bottom. This was partially due to the big fall of Meta, because the amount of users were shrinking instead of growing. The second half of 2022 also sees energy rise to the top 3. Healthcare is also a noticeable sector because of COVID. While the whole market is going down, healthcare keeps its value. 2023 sees the power of technology. While most of the market is stabilizing, tech is pulling the whole market up. The so-called Magnificent Seven are doing their job. These companies are Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, and Meta. Real estate and utilities did not do very well and are now at the very bottom. In summary, you see that technology is way ahead of the other sectors. Real estate looked promising, but is now below the value of that initial rise. Healthcare did well because of COVID, but has now stabilized. Energy ended up in the middle, but has been on the bottom and in the top 3. This shows the volatility of energy prices. The last one I want to highlight is communication, which clearly correlated with the fall and rise of Meta. As you can tell, knowing the sectors and predicting their future development can be very important on the stock market. Data of the past doesn't predict the future, but it is important to know that the different sectors can fluctuate this much. Tech is worth more than 2.5 times its initial value, while utilities only made 8%. Be aware of the sectors you invest in, so you are not susceptible to the risks of one sector. I hope this video was useful to you. If you got some value out of this, then please subscribe. As I said before, it really helps my small channel out. Thanks for the help. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I respond to every message. Thank you and see you next time.